Welcome to another episode of Otmar Worringer Outdoors. In this episode I'm going to show you how to hang game cameras on public land. I just scouted a few places and discovered a few hot spots where there's a lot of deer sign. But of course, just by the sign alone you can't tell what animals frequent there. Could be bucks, could be does, could be both. One way to find out is to hang up a game camera. On public land, game cameras are a problem. I think there is not a hunter alive using game cameras that has not had game cameras missing on them. Unfortunately, we have to share the wood with people that think if they see something, be that a tree stand or a game camera, it's theirs for the taking. It's not. Let me rant a bit. I hate the thief. I hate thieves with a passion. And unfortunately it's unavoidable. There is always people around that think that they don't have to work like we do, that they just can take it. So if you're one of them that happens to cross my channel, go work for your own stuff. You know, in the past 20 years I have been, I guess, lucky. I only had like 2-3 tree stands stolen, but that's $300. And that's gone missing. And somebody else uses that. Not right. But anyway, quit the rant. Get on with what this video is about. Game cameras. There are certain ways to hang game cameras or place game cameras that they're invisible to people. And we're going to show you that in this video. There's a few methods, because even if you lock your game cameras up with steel wire, I heard of hunters, they had their steel wires just snapped. In other words, thieves take bolt cutters with them in the woods. So I don't know if they're all hunters, you know, some of them may be anti-hunters. I know for a fact that they are anti-hunters in some areas that go out in the woods and looking for tree stands and game cameras, and then a friend of mine had his smashed on the ground in front of the tree. I'm sure that's not a hunter. A hunter would steal it and take it with him. It's an animal rights or one of these anti-hunters. And if you frequent their pages, you actually will see that this is confirmed, that they encourage their members to go out and, you know, harass hunters and destroy their equipment and stuff like that. But anyway, so it's quite a bit to walk. That's point number one. Don't do it right next to a road. The smart public land hunter goes where other hunters don't go. So not where you can drive and then just right next to where you park the truck. So quite often, like in this case, I run into deer signs the further away I get from the road. And where other hunters don't go. Sometimes it's a steep hill to climb, they don't want to go up there. So you will find deer sign, or it's just like now, I have to walk about 3 miles to get to where I want, and it doesn't look like that there has been many hunters in there, because you can't even get there with an ATV. You actually have to walk. Okay, let's go, follow me, and we hang this game camera and I show you what I do to make my equipment as safe from thieves as possible. Follow me. Should have bring the gun with me. It's hunting season while I try to hang these game cameras. And I just spooked 3 deer. I didn't know what it was. It's does or bucks. Probably a spike buck with them. But I spooked them. I should have bring the gun with me. That's what you get when you go and hang game cameras during hunting season. But you know, you can't do both. You can't hang game cameras and hunt at the same time, or scout and hunt at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Okay? You have to get your priorities right. Sorry about that, I got stuck up on a branch there crawling by the trees. Beautiful spot up here. So we're almost there. And boy, I'm a little bit winded. Goes steep uphill, eh? And then lots of course a lot of hunters, they don't like to walk uphill. I don't like it either, but especially right now, 66 years old this year. And although I'm quite fit and healthy, it starts to get a little bit to me sometimes. I have to rest and have a breather. But that's where you have to go. If you want to go away from hunters and start seeing deer, you've got to put the miles in. Very rarely do you see deer near roads or parking lots and so. Certain circumstances that's possible, because that's where most hunters don't hunt either. Yeah, but here in British Columbia, although it's outlawed, we have a lot of what they call road hunters. And somehow they drive along the road. All these different logging roads we have here, there's a vast net of logging roads in these woods everywhere in British Columbia, and they drive along, and if they see something, they point the gun out the car window. Verboten, but some of them still do it. And so deer don't hang anywhere, at least here, not anywhere near around roads. When I used to live in Illinois, in Richmond, Illinois, what a beautiful place that was to hunt. There I actually shot a nice A-point with bow and arrow, because they have bow hunting only there, with a couple of, I think they have two short 3-day seasons for shotgun and muzzle loader only. And he was right next to the parking lot. There was a big thicket, and all the hunters would park there, because you couldn't drive into the state park. And he was hiding in the thicket. I came back from a hunt, and I saw fresh deer tracks going past my truck that weren't there in the morning. And so I followed them, and sure enough, and he was mine. I took him home. So, but that's rare that this happened right next to the parking lot, or anywhere, like I said, anywhere near the road. Most of the times, unfortunately, we have to put boots to the ground and keep walking. So we're almost there, and I'm going to show you how I hang game cameras. Dang, now I really regret I didn't bring my gun. I just spooked another deer, and it was a fairly decent sized buck, and actually right close to my tree stand, where my tree stand is going to be. That's just crazy, and if I bring the gun with me, I don't see a deer all day. But that's how it goes. Watch this one here. That's where he ran. He took some big leaps. Right through there. He took some big leaps, and he was a huge animal. He was huge. And he must have, and I'm sure he had I didn't see the full, sorry about that. My camera here steady, so he must have had quite a rack on him. Like I said, he went fast, so I didn't see. But I see how he, when he went through the brush, how he tossed his head left and right. That's usually an indicator that it's a big buck, because they have to get their antlers out of a tangled mess when they run through the brush like that. So, damn, yeah. Oh well, that's how it goes. It's called hunting, not killing. Here we are. Let me show you what made this choose to be my new tree stand site. Let me turn the camera around. There's a big trail over here. See? And it's coming down from here. And they connect right there where my camera is now. Right there where my camera is now, that's where they connect. And there is a deer trail coming from here through here. And there's another deer trail coming from over there, and they all come here. And here, this thick brush over here, and there's 1, 2, 3 deer trails. They all 3 come in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deer trails. They all merge here in this deer trail, and then going down the gully toward that thick brush down here. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but through that thick brush you can see a big trail going right through here. And now I'm going to show you where my tree stand is going to be. As I walk up to my tree stand, I see a new trail. Right in front of my tree stand, it comes through that stuff there, from the open field, going in here. See, that's a transition zone there. There's open, and then there's a row of trees here. And this new one comes right in here, merges here with the other one that goes down here through the thick stuff, and with the one that's coming from over here. And they merge right in front of my tree stand, 20 feet away, 20 feet or even less. And here is my tree. See? And it's the one. There's that small one here. See? That small one here. Yeah. And then there's a big one here. And the tree right behind that one, so behind that leaning tree, that one right there. And that gives me brilliant cover. The deer never will see me if they come from the outside. There is thick, all thick there. They can't see you, and from here they can't see me because I'm sheltered by the other trees. But I get GRF shooting lanes to either side. I already was up there earlier on when I scouted with my harness. I climbed up and looked about the height, how high I have to hang the tree stand. So now I'm gonna hang a camera on that tree, there, and then we see, and then I have a nice view of covering all the trails that come together. Where I was before with the camera and explained to where all the trails come, is right behind us. So I have from that tree stand up there to down that spot there. I just measured it out. It's 16 feet. I like them when they're close. I don't like to shoot too far, not even with a rifle. Maximum with a rifle I shoot maybe 100, 150 yards, no more. It's the bow hunter in me. I like to have them close. I like to see the white in their eye when I shoot them. So, but usually I don't do that. But now I'm going to hang the camera on the tree where my tree stand is going to go, because I get all that view in here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that here on public land. Stay with me. Oh, the tree stand tree doesn't work. It's too many branches in the way, and I don't want to cut more branches out. So I choose this tree here. So the way to prevent camera theft, I climb up. And that's where I bring a stick with me, like this, and we're going to connect that. And then I'm going to show you that this tree stand will not be, this camera will not be stolen. Just one step, that's good enough. Hang them about 8 feet off the ground. And I have never seen yet a thief that climbs 8 feet up. Yeah? Because unless they bring a tree step with them too. So we attached the tree step, just one. And of course, I always bring my my safety harness with me. you never want to be without safety harness anywhere up in the air. On this spot we hang the camera normal, right in the 4 or 5 feet of the ground as they're supposed to be. And the reason is, this is a very well camouflage, goes right on that tree here, and that one here. And you see there's all branches around, so I'm going to hang up the camera, and then I'm just going to trim a little bit the branches out here, and this stuff here that could interfere when the wind blows. It takes a picture. Then I have 150 pictures on it and no critters. So I'm going to just trim out what the so that it doesn't interfere with the camera, and that too. That camera will cover all the trails coming through here, the trail coming from here, the trail coming from down here, the trail from here, and that's the main trail right behind the camera. That's going all out in the open here. And the tree stand eventually will hang in this tree here, behind me here in this one here. Cut out some branches, the tree stand nestles in there, and that's it. I'm well camouflaged. The deer can come from any which direction. Predominantly the wind blows out that way, so that will be an evening stand, because the deer come from the thicket down from the bedding area to go in the open to feed. So that will be an evening stand. The other one I did before, and I showed you, that would be a morning stand, because that's where they come home from. There's a power line going down there where they go out and graze, and then they're coming home up that trail in the morning. So it would be a morning stand, and you know, not a half a mile further, and you have an evening stand. So you hunt there in the morning, and then you slip over here and hunt in the afternoon. So I'm going to trim a few branches out, hang the camera and show you what it looks like, and then you tell me if a hunter would see that. That's just, because most hunters, they don't look for camera, unless, you know, they are real thieves. Most hunters steal by opportunity. And if you don't give them the opportunity in this regard, that you hide the camera very well, camouflage it very well, they're not going to see, because they're not looking for it. They look for deer. They look for here too. Some hunters do come in here, you know, to hunt grouse, and they're looking for grouse, not for cameras. So let me get set up and trim some branches, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, I was just on trimming out some branches and looked from the height where the camera will hang. I looked if everything is free. Doesn't need to be too much free, but just that the whatever branches they are, when the wind goes, they don't move in front of the motion detector, because if it does, like I said before, then all of a sudden you have hundreds or even thousands of pictures on your game camera with nothing on it, because just all was moving with branches. And I learned that the hard way too. Everything I do, I learned the hard way. I had, I think, 2,000 pictures on the camera, and I thought, oh wow, you know. And then I opened up and looked at it at the in the computer, and there was 5 deer, 1 coyote, and 2 bears, and the rest of this, you know, all the pictures, they were nothing. They were, oh no, one of them was a squirrel on it, but the rest, they were nothing. There was, because the wind, and then I saw when I looked at it again, I saw that there's a branch in front, and every time the wind goes, it moves, and the motion detector reacts and takes a picture. So now I make sure it's just that, yeah. And not because it's tiresome to work through all these 1,000 pictures or a couple of hundreds even, and then nothing on it. It's frustrating. So and I have other things to do in my life than sitting hours on a computer looking through pictures. So let me get set that up, and then I'm going to show you the finished result, what it looks like. Oh, that looks about right. If I zoom out, you see it's just gonna zoom out, not in. See? No, nobody's gonna see that. Hanging in there, and I never even see a human in here. Usually you would see footsteps of people walking around there, but all I ever see in here is deer tracks. The only other tracks I see in here is my own. So what I'm going to do with these game cameras, I usually let them sit for a week or two, and then I come and check on them. Depends on the area. Sometimes I let them hang all summer or all winter even. But on public land, I'm always a little bit hesitant, maybe a little bit paranoid. Or maybe somebody did walk by accident and stole them. If you get so much stuff stolen, eventually you can't deny it. You get a little bit paranoid. But anyway, I think they're safe here. So I come back next week. It's Monday today, Monday the 21st. I still have to go home and do some homework. And then tomorrow it's back to work. So I probably come back next Monday. Depends on the weather. If there is a snowstorm, I come earlier, because the road up here very, very bad in the winter. Very bad to drive in the winter. Steep cliffs going down on one side, and there's invariably every year, there's a car going down there, or two, or sometimes three. I think last year it was 5 cars went down, fell down in the gully and had to be pulled out. Lucky nobody died because of it yet, but still. So I don't like to come up here when the snow really starts to hit. So I want to show you one more trick that I can use. I don't have any more cameras with me, I just took 2 with them. But let me show you something. See all that thick stuff in here? You can hide a camera in there. I would use a cheap tripod. You can buy them for $15, $19. Yeah, for $15, $19 or so. And you put them in here, right low to the ground, put the camera on top, cut a few branches so it doesn't interfere with the motion detector. And if they're sitting here, nobody, where my hand is, nobody is going to see them. They're well hidden. Or even in so little willow growing here, you hang them inside the willow, again on a stick or on a tripod. Nobody's going to see them. Again, you would have to cut some limbs out here. Here, not too many actually. You would cut this one out and this one, and then maybe this one here and this one, and you're good. Nobody's going to see that. Well hidden. So when you put stuff up on public land, when you put stuff up, it starts raining now. When you put your own stuff up at tree stands or game cameras, think a bit. How can you camouflage them, and how can you make it secure for yourself? Because it does amount to a lot of money. We are not too bad up here, but I remember from the days when I hunted in Illinois, I think there wasn't a hunter alive that hasn't had stolen game cameras and tree stands. I know of one of them who claims that over 10 tree stands were stolen of his. Now if you take even a cheap one, it's a $50, $60 one, that's a lot of money that he had to work for. So just think a little bit, be safe, because you worked for it. It's not just it's just a camera. It is a camera. I worked for it. The ones I hang up now, they came in a set, and I'm gonna make a review video on them eventually, because I'm really pleased with them. And as I said, they cost $180 185 or 86 Canadian dollars. I have to work a day for that, to get that kind of money. So, and then of course you also have other things to pay, but regardless, it's an investment and we should take care of it and protect it accordingly. So it starts really raining now. I'm heading back to the truck. At home I need a coffee and something to eat. It's past lunchtime. And I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you find it interesting, and I hope I could pass on some tips how to protect your property. And if you like it, subscribe to us please. I would appreciate that very much, and thank you for following me. Thank you for watching the video. You have a great day. Happy hunting season. Be safe.